Love me 2 times, baby. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, girl. 'Cause I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 1 time, I could not speak. Love me 1 time, babe. Yeah, my knees got weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Last me all through the week. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Hey, alright. Love me 1 time, I could not speak. Love me 1 time, baby. Yeah, my knees got weak. Love me 2 times, girl. Last me all through the week. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, babe. Love me twice today. Love me 2 times, babe. 'Cause I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away. Love me 2 times, I'm gone away.
Hello guys, how are you? Please let me know. Let me know if my sound is okay or not. This is gonna be a quick live tonight. I have to wake up early tomorrow, so it's gonna be fast, quick and fast. Let me say hello to you guys. We have Sweet Dude Shibi. Hey man, that live you made this week impersonating Nick McLeland in Amy's channel, it was just hilarious, man. Awesome. So guys, you have to go to watch Sweet Dude Chibi as Prosecutor McLeland. Was just too funny. Awesome. Michelle's here. How are you, Michelle? Happy to have you here. No, thanks to you, man. You should do like a routine comedy, man. This is just it was so good, man. Sistru is here. How are you, Sistru? The woman in gray. Yeah, that was a cover, of course, because if I play the original song, I'm gonna have a strike from YouTube. Happy to have you here for the first minute. Finally, Shay. Finally, God is in the floor. I don't know, guys. If I'm missing someone here. Deb, how are you? Happy to have you here. So today it's gonna be really quick, fast. We're gonna talk about the false debate or the false dilemma, let's say. So we're gonna come back to this guy who is pushing like It's bringing politics into the debate. He gives you two options. Either you think that the 2:50 p.m. Ping, which now it seems to be actually a Wi-Fi connection. If you believe in that possibility, you are a child killer supporter, you know. So the false dilemmas is when people brings politics into the conversation, when they give you only two options and you don't you cannot consider other options outside of that small bucket of possibilities. So in my case, and you know my opinion here in this case, I think that Allen is involved, but I'm not that stupid to say that the 2:50 p.m. Connection at the Brad Weber's property is irrelevant, and that could be exculpatory evidence. Exculpatory evidence, right? So let me play. This is gonna be a 4 minutes video here, guys, and we're gonna talk about. We're gonna present that subject about the false dilemmas and how a content creator can mislead his audience to pretend that if you consider that the 2:50 p.m. connection to the Brad Weber's property is a possibility here, it's a major gap in the official narrative of law enforcement. Therefore, you are a child killer supporter. So let's play this. It's gonna take 4 minutes just to trigger the discussion. So I'm gonna alternate the opinion of the content creator with other clips related to the false debates or the false dilemmas here. So let's do it.
50 p.m. ping, which means absolutely fucking nothing. Yet here I am supporting Richard Allen, a convicted child killer, because of a 2:50 p.m. ping.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
So this is a first example of a false debate, or of a false narrative. Either you are with this guy or you are with the terrorists. You cannot consider other options. You know what I mean? So you are a terrorist, you are a child killer supporter, if you consider that the 2:50 p.m. situation indicates that there is a potential major gap in the investigation. But this is what it is.
From this day forward, any nation that continues to harbor or support terrorism will be regarded by the United States as a hostile regime.
Then you got this 2:50 p.m. ping.
So I guess my channel is a hostile channel regime, or a terrorist channel, because I'm considering with you guys that the 2:50 p.m. Situation is is something relevant here. It's an indication of a major gap. It's a big problem in this investigation, especially if it is a Wi-Fi related situation. But he prefers to omit that possibility because his theory is perfect. You know, Brad Weber is leaving his job at X time. He drives at X kilometer per hour. He doesn't stop during the project, and he arrives home at around 2:30 p.m. according to him, because that's the perfect way to wrap his theory, right? But the 2:50 p.m. Situation is nothing for him. It's just nothing. He's blind about that. And if we are not blind about that, we are child killer supporters or terrorists, right?
which means absolutely fucking nothing. Yet here I am supporting Richard Allen, a convicted child killer, because of a 2:50 p.m. ping.
Vegetables are bad for you. After all, the dinosaurs ate plants, and we all know what happened to them. Let's pause for a moment. That argument was ridiculous, and that's because it contained a logical fallacy. A logical fallacy is any kind of error in reasoning that renders an argument invalid. They can involve distorting or manipulating facts, drawing false conclusions, or distracting you from the actual issue at hand. In theory, it seems like they'd be pretty easy to spot, but this isn't always the case. Sometimes logical fallacies are used intentionally to try and win a debate. In these cases, they're often presented by the speaker with a certain level of confidence, and in doing so, they're more persuasive. If they sound like they know what they're talking about, we're more likely to believe them, even if their stance doesn't make complete logical sense. One common logical fallacy is the false cause. This is when someone incorrectly identifies the cause of something. In my argument, I stated that the dinosaurs became extinct because they ate vegetables. Now, while these two separate things did happen, a diet of vegetables was not the cause of their extinction. Maybe you've heard.
So I'm gonna stop there for a minute. Is the exact example to represent what the content creator is trying to sell. So according to him, the dinosaurs were extincted because they were eating vegetables. It's exactly the same thing he's selling in his channel. If you believe in the 2:50 p.m. Situation, or at least if you consider that that would be a possibility here in this case, therefore you are a terrorist, you are a child killer supporter, and you have a narrative and you have an agenda. So is the type of fallacy he's trying to sell, right? It doesn't even matter if you are a pro Allen. It doesn't even matter if Richard Allen is the killer or not. It doesn't matter. The problem is that the official narrative, the theory of the state, doesn't add up at all. If that 2:50 p.m. Connection to the Brad Weber's property is factual or is true, he has to consider. He doesn't have, but we have to consider that this is a main possibility, and that possibility aligns first of all with the security camera timestamp, even if there is a difference between AM and PM. But the most plausible situation, in my opinion, is that there's just an inversion of timing there in conjunction with the connection at 2:50. And also we have Holman testimony, Holman's deposition, telling us that according to law enforcement, they thought that Brad Weber, he went to service his ATM machines after he left his job. Also, we know that this guy is always telling us that, oh, but Richard Allen, he changed his theory. He changed his theory, not his theory, his original statement about the timing when he was supposed to be at the bridge. He's full of it when he talks about it. What about the Brad Weber's testimony? He changed his testimony as well. And the FBI agent that was supposed to debunk Brad Weber's testimony was not allowed to testify during the process by the judge. So it's very easy to pick the pieces of information that fits your theory or your narrative. Very, very easy. This is a false debate. It's a false dilemma. It doesn't matter if you think he's guilty. It doesn't matter if you think he's innocent. It doesn't matter if Richard Allen is an elephant. It doesn't matter if Richard Allen is an alien. It doesn't matter if Richard Allen is a ghost. What it matters is at what time Brad Weber's cell phone was connecting to his property or to his mother's property. That's the real dilemma. That's the real debate. Don't try to put or to bring politics into that question. That's the question. Is the 2:50 p.m. arrival timing, correct or incorrect? The rest of the information or the elements, opinions, is irrelevant. That's the relevant point. That's the question. Focus on that question. You know, I don't know if I am making myself clear. If that connection, that timing connection is correct, the theory of the state is just destroyed. So if you are curious, if you don't buy bullshit, if you don't buy the state narrative, especially when they demonstrated that they are a bunch of incompetent persons here. So I think you have the right to consider that 2:50 p.m. connection still a possibility. Give it 50-50, give it 60-40 or 70-30, but it's still a possibility. And that possibility, again, indicates a major gap in this case.
False cause more commonly represented by the phrase, correlation does not equal causation, meaning that just because two things occurred around the same time, it doesn't mean that one caused the other. A straw man is when someone takes an argument and misrepresents it so that it's easier to attack. For example, let's say Callie is advocating that sporks should be the new standard for silverware since they're more efficient. Madeline responds that she's shocked Callie would want to outlaw spoons and forks and put millions out of work at the fork and spoon factories. A straw man is frequently used in politics in an effort to discredit another politician's views on a particular issue. Begging the question is a type of circular argument where someone includes the conclusion as a part of their reasoning. George says, ghosts exist.
Exactly. The conclusion as a part of their reasoning. So if the conclusion is that the 2:50 p.m. is a potential situation here, therefore you are a child killer supporter. Exactly. It's exactly what he's doing.
Because I saw a ghost in my closet. His conclusion is ghosts exist. His premise also assumes that ghosts exist. Rather than assuming that ghosts exist from the get-go, George should be using evidence and reasoning to prove that they exist. The false dilemma, or false dichotomy, is a logical fallacy where a situation is presented as being an either-or option, when in reality there are more possible options available than just the chosen two. Rebecca rings the doorbell.
And again, because I like to be fair here, there's a bunch of possibilities. The thing is, we have to find what of those possibilities is the actual one. So one possibility is that Brad Weber's cell phone was off during the time he was driving. It's unlikely, but it's a possibility. And let's say if he arrived at 2:33 p.m. at his mother's property, and then he turned on his cell phone 20 minutes after, that could explain the inconsistency, if there is an inconsistency. There is still that possibility. So I'm not saying that there are no other possibilities, and that's the problem with the other guy. There are other possibilities to consider here, and one of them is that the 2:50 p.m. connection is an actual situation. And when you, I don't know, but most of the people, they have their cell phones on most of the time, because they are waiting for texts, they are listening to music, they are just using their fucking cell phones. We have the cell phones on most of the time. So I think if the 2:50 p.m. connection is related to a Wi-Fi, and he had the cell phone on, which is the most likely situation, in my opinion, that connection occurred right away. It was a perfect timing. It's the most likely scenario that I can see here. But let's finish this video. Still 1 more minute here.
But Ethan doesn't answer. She then thinks, oh, Ethan must not be home. Rebecca posits that either Ethan answers the door or he isn't home. In reality, he could be sleeping, doing some work in the backyard, or taking a shower. Most logical fallacies can be spotted by thinking critically. Make sure to ask questions. Is logic at work here, or is it simply rhetoric? Does their proof actually lead to the conclusion they're proposing? By applying critical thinking, you'll be able to detect logical fallacies in the world around you and prevent yourself from using them as well.
And then you got this 2:50 p.m. ping, which means absolutely fucking nothing.
Sorry, I was talking alone. So that was the short video about the false dilemma, about the false debate that our good friend is trying to push in his channel. And again, if we consider the possibility of the 2:50 p.m. Wi-Fi connection, we are just insane. We are crazy. We are terrorists. We are child killer supporters. Good. Great. Sweet dude Chivi. It's a loaded question. Good on you, Cryptex, for not accepting his narrative. It's bringing politics into the debate. It doesn't matter if you are pro-Allen, if you are pro-prosecution, if you are a dolphin. It doesn't matter. The question is, was the cell phone pinging at 2:50 p.m.? Yes or not? That's the question. Forget about the rest of the surrounding elements, because you are creating a false debate. You are creating a false narrative. Michelle 911, Toffer, yep, Hiawatha. It's not cool at all. He's smarter than that. He is. That's the problem. But he likes to push narratives and to bring politics into the table. He knows he's telling non-truths, and some people can't think for themselves, so they allow others to do it for them. Good point. People supporting injustice are terrorists. And again, regardless if Allen is guilty or innocent, he didn't have a fair process. It's evident, and that itself, it's very questionable. That situation itself is very questionable. So yeah, this is a terrorist country here. In this channel is a terrorist country. Thank you, Mother of Dragons. I welcome plausible options, you know. I think we are not talking crazy shit here. He was not always like that. Yeah, something happened. I don't know. Good point. Yeah, exactly. Jamie, I agree with you, Cryptex. That is not at all or nothing in this case. But I don't like bringing our former president into this. It was just to present the example, you know what I mean? You do, you Cryptex. Abby, how are you, Abby? How are you? I'm happy for that. I'm happy that you enjoy my lives, and me too. I enjoy being with you here, guys, in the chat for sure. U.S. a libertarian, always a barbarian. The Constitution doesn't say unless we are really, really emotional about it. Exactly. Good point. Good enough for me. I hate vegetables. Oh man, that was funny. Let me scroll down here, guys. Exactly. Everybody changed their time. So Brad Weber changed their time, and we just have to ignore that. I'm pro prosecution, so I believe in Brad Weber's deposition because that's what we have. That's the transcript we have here. How can you think differently? Well, we have Cathy Shame testimony, which was a perjury. So that's a great example of how reliable are the transcripts here. We have again the FBI agent that was supposed to challenge Brad Weber's testimony, and he was not allowed to present his testimony. We have Jerry Holman at another transcript, but that transcript, you don't care about that transcript, right? Jerry Holman telling you that according to law enforcement, they believe that Brad Weber arrived home after 2:30 p.m. So choosing the information you need to fit your perfect theory. And I don't think it's malicious, you know. It's not him being malicious. It's him being not capable of accepting that his bright theory may be wrong. You know what I mean? He's bragging about how perfect is the timing. Oh, Monica Wallace and the confession of Richard Allen and the 2:30 p.m. and the cell phone data of Libby and the time Brad Weber left the factory and the kilometer per hours that he's positive that was the speed of Brad Weber, and that he never stopped to look at his phone or to take a piece or to buy a beer or no. His theory is so perfect, but the 2:50 p.m. Wi-Fi connection is not something that is gonna fit in his theory. So we are stupid, we are dumb. We cannot question that possibility. So yeah. It's not about malicious. It's not about being malicious. It's about being incapable of being wrong. You know what I mean? Digital, how are you? I think this video is too complex for them to understand. Vegetables and extinct both have more than 6 letters. Yeah. And we already know they cannot comprehend the concept of logic. Exactly. False debate. Big JD, I'm not completely up to date on all of this, but how much of the security video do we have? The whole day? I don't know. I really don't know. I would expect to have a lot of time, because it's gonna be weird that they have only the exact time between 2:07 p.m. and 2:50 p.m. You know, they have to have more than that for sure. And we know that there's another car passing in front of the Sandy Force camera at 2:07 p.m. So they have more. The power of prayer is awesome. So yeah, it's a good question, Big JD. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if he doesn't believe what he says. We went around about the 3.5 girls, and I got the impression he didn't really logically separate issues. Yeah. Watching YouTube way too much. Yeah, same here. Have to stop. Why does everyone think people with opposite ideas are being paid? We do know Weber was texting in the Subaru parking lot at 2:12. Where does your pink story even come from? Or is it a Wi-Fi connection? Well, everything now is like pointing to a Wi-Fi connection, Simbad. And when you say, where does my pink story even come from? What do you mean? Be more specific, just to try to understand what is behind your heater. Nice to see you here. I'm the man. I don't know if I'm the man, but at least I'm the man asking questions with you guys. I'm not alone here asking questions. USA Libertarian. Basically, people don't listen to the other side closely enough to understand how they can believe what they do. And it's impossible to, especially when the issue is so complex. Yep. 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 No, I'm not saying someone is paying him. I'm not saying that at all. I don't know where is the paying stuff coming from, but I'm just saying it's hard to him to accept he's wrong, especially when the situation is that smelly, that fishy, you know. But yeah. Anyways, scrolling down here. Jenny, how are you? Ty West. Don't worry about put down clowns. When they lose the debate, they always call you names. Of course, that's what he did. But this is what it is. Before I did, now I'm a little bit annoyed with the lack of, how can I say, logic there. But anyways. So as I was telling you guys, I have to wake up early tomorrow, so I'm not gonna stay too long. I'm gonna try to finish some comments here. Let me look for something here. So just to finish, guys, give me 1 second. Looking for a video here. I need ideas from you guys. I'm gonna tell you what am I talking about. I'm talking about this. Just 1 second. I'm talking about this share screen. Share screen. Okay, so I'm very motivated to do a mockumentary about Delphi, and that mockumentary is going to be related to the incompetence, or it's going to be focused on the incompetence of law enforcement in this case. I'm not going to mess with the family, with the girls, of course not. Holman is the one who does that type of stuff, calling them the fucking girls, as we listened during the Richard Allen's interrogation, the disgusting police officers referring to the girls in that way, and to Richard Allen's wife, your fucking wife. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna focus in the law enforcement people, Cathy Shame, Holman, Mullin, all of them. So it's gonna be like a sarcastic mockumentary. And if you have ideas to help me with the script, thank you for that. So first video, like an intro, is gonna be this one.
We have conducted a perfect investigation.
I'm your best friend. You need to trust me.
It's a box cutter. I don't know what that is. Don't get me wrong.
So that's like a pilot, let's say, that I was working on. Let's watch the IT guy. Remember that in the deposition, am I talking alone again? No. In the deposition of Jerry Holman, he said that Mullin was the expert in IT. Mullin was the expert in IT in that police department. Mullin. My God. So this episode is called The IT Guy.
I have the best IT guy of the police department working for me. I have the best IT guy of the police department working for me.
So that's going to be the tone. That's going to be the style. It's just a sarcastic way to criticize those guys because of the freaking bad investigation they performed, because of the potential inaccurate outcome of this investigation. So if you like it, and if you can help me, please help me with ideas. I'm gonna turn your ideas into a video like these ones. And before leaving, please hit the like, subscribe if you are not, and stay in touch. So that was all for today, guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.